that song? This is the time to remember.
Nope.
It was in his later years when it wasn't really as good as earlier.
He was from my wife's hometown.
Billy Joel?
Nuremberg, Germany. Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I never would have guessed that he was German.
Yep. Ambassador Cycling, people, the home for getting fit to get fit. Without proper fit, cycling sucks. Can we all be honest? Your body hurts in ways you shouldn't. You can't enjoy your ride because your arms, neck, back, and junk feel, well, they feel like junk. Get to ambassadorcycling.com today and get the scoop from Sam. Your taint will thank you for it.
Wow.
I think you should put that on a
Poetic,
shirt.
yeah.
Your taint will thank you.
My taint will thank you.
Yeah. My taint is happy. Happy taint. Just happy taint on a shirt. Wouldn't that be good?
Everybody's
got one.
I'm always making up shirts.
Everybody's got one.
Yeah.
Gooder sunglasses, people. New styles coming out on a steady stream. Well, kind of tied into the last joke. The newest offerings even hark back to the great old 1980s. What's old is new, and the kids are going to claim it for themselves. Get to gooder.com today to see what is up. Athletic Brewing, people, the home for NA that doesn't taste like NA. Take it from me, I just ordered 12 Irish Reds in time for St. Me Day. I did. And the newest Athletic Light is quite possibly the best thing you can put into a red beer, if that's your thing. I'm not a red beer guy, but I hear it's a great thing. And it's only 25 calories and 5 grams of carbs for
until you put the red in it.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying there. That's correct. 25 calories. Get to Packfiller, use the link, and get on the Athletic wagon. And while you are at it, guess what? 20% discount if you use the code PBulger. That is my name, PBULGER 20. 20% off code. You're welcome. Scratch Labs, people. You know you need to hydrate even when it is cold. Or even more importantly, when you're riding on that shit steed known as the indoor trainer. Or even throughout the day. Get to scratchlabs.com and find out what you're missing out on the best tasting hydration products as well as liquid calorie options for those big rides that can be found. I don't know if I should say shit thing in a sponsor read, but it makes it more personal, doesn't it?
What if your shit steed's your daily
Hang on,
ride?
we're waiting to see if he's got his music working.
The theme's gonna fucking.
He worked all week on it.
Yeah,
all week.
Is everything
He's
okay
down
on the
here
live
every
stream?
night. Every night.
What's your point, Jack? This is my
You're a
life.
professional. I know.
I live in this 10 by 15 room. Is it? You guys know the dimension shit.
It's probably 11 by 17.
Wow, camera 2 is just focused on Jack tonight.
Right on.
Just to let you know, Jack. No pressure.
Yeah.
So, his show. Let's do this. The drinks report. The mics are on. The theme playing. And the gang is all here. It must be Tuesday. We must be live. And this must be the Packfiller Podcast, the home for the two-wheeled lifestyle. I am your host. My name's Pat. And my fingers aren't sticky, so I can't turn my copy page over. They are also here, so let's get to the nonsensical introductions to the people you already know. Gentlemen, please state upon your introduction your favorite cartoon character from your childhood. Look at them all thinking about it.
No, I got mine. Yeah.
First off, he's the nicest guy you know who secretly judges people from your beer and bike choices. Mr. Paul Main. How are you, man?
The former more than the latter.
You don't judge people by their bikes?
No. Really? No.
So
did you see what I wrote in?
Yeah.
That's a classic, though.
Yeah.
Everybody needs
still
to know.
bike.
You wrote, it's true. But you judged yourself by saying it was a mountain bike.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I suck.
Favorite judgy, budgy. Favorite cartoon character?
There's a frog on.
The fuck?
The frog on. And there's
Bunny.
Bugs Bunny, yeah. Hello, my darling. Hello, my baby. Hello, my
holy
right
shit.
thumb gal. Yeah.
I
That one. That is my
in the
favorite.
box.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a time capsule.
I have told people that was my dog for years, and most people don't get it because Bender is wonderful when nobody's around. People come over to visit.
And they
Dickhead, absolute fuckhead, and he can't come down here because he wants to have sex with Paul. But
Who
it's
wouldn't?
just right? Gorgeous man.
Quite a few.
Yeah. Who wouldn't?
Yeah. Quite a few don't want to.
Yeah, Bender is the frog from that. I love that cartoon. Next off, he's the nicest guy you know who can scream "fuck you" out of his car window loud enough to drop property values.
Yeah.
Mr. Jack Broadhead.
Wow.
It was. I'm sure.
I used my deep dad voice.
Because you were in a pickup too. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
pissed.
gonna definitely get to that story here shortly. Fucking pissed.
God.
Favorite cartoon character, Jack?
Well, I mean, it's tough because Wile E. Coyote, Bugs Bunny,
By
Roadrunner Hour was my whole, first 12 years of my life. So I don't know, Bugs Bunny, I guess.
Just sticking with the classics.
Sure.
You give up so easily. You're like, fine, I'll take Bugs Bunny. When he was,
At least I didn't say Woody Woodpecker.
when he dressed up like a girl, he was kind of hot.
For a rabbit.
Yeah, Elmer Fudd was into him, her, him.
Yeah.
Third, he's the nicest guy you know. Well, shit, he's just a plain nice guy. Mr. Jackson Bolger, how are you, man?
I'm good.
So if you had to pick a cartoon character.
Yeah, I was thinking I really like the duo of Patrick Star and SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yes.
Because Patrick is the perfect lovable idiot. A true
Aren't they
idiot.
all?
Of mice
Yeah.
and men.
Aren't they all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what a name.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
All idiot. All Patricks are idiots.
And then I love the pure annoying nature of SpongeBob.
Yeah.
I think they're funny together. So
So you're cheating and you're picking two.
one can't be completed without the other.
Okay.
If you really think about it.
It's like Abbott and Costello.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah, it's
Little
a double act.
Yeah.
Okay. Me, I'm the nicest guy you probably don't want to hang out with. I'm Pat Bulger, and my favorite character, I'm going more modern. I'm going with Dexter from Dexter's Lab. I loved that cartoon.
I understand.
Didi,
Dexter.
you are stupid. I loved that cartoon. It was so much fun to watch. And now it's gone. Just like all my happy things. Gentlemen, how are things going, and how has the ride week been? Do we
Fucking terrible.
do we want to start with Jack?
Sure.
Jack,
Fuck.
do you want to
Terrible.
Do you want to tell your perspective of how
I
we
ran
violated
further
you?
than I rode.
Well, your fingers
put
are
it that
bleeding
way.
on the console there.
Jesus Christ.
Are they really?
No.
No. My console.
Damn right.
Get a tampon. Anyway.
So, why are you?
I'm
too
just busy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You
it.
ran this week though.
Sunday morning.
Really?
Yeah, early.
We rode.
I know. Yeah. But I had to be with the wife.
The listener needs to know that we were leaving the coffee shop on Saturday morning for a ride, and Jack at that moment drove by, and his wife is waving at us, and we didn't hear. We knew that we saw the window going down, and you stuck your head out and yelled "fuck you" at the top of your lungs.
That was pretty funny.
Because
Yeah.
he was heading to his work.
His job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saturday morning.
And
Yeah.
we didn't include him in the text stream, so we fucked up.
You guys are assholes.
I think
Can we all
Yeah.
say that we fucked up to Jack?
Yeah.
I think we
It's
picked
all
the wrong one. The wrong text stream.
Yeah, it was.
So who started that text stream?
I think I did.
Okay.
did.
Yeah.
So my hands are clean. Good.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry,
all I
Jack.
wanted to know.
I'm sorry, man.
I'm good. I mean, April looks good for me.
All right. Yeah.
There we
Get
go.
back on the
Does
bike.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Paul, how'd the week go?
Went all right. Rode with you twice.
Yeah.
Jackson once. Yeah. So,
So
yeah,
just
I
the
was
two?
tired.
You didn't
I
make
was.
the ride Sunday?
No.
Just the two?
I did rollers, but that doesn't count really. At this point
Oh.
in time, with there's no snow or ice,
Yeah.
that doesn't count.
But daylight.
Yeah, it's
There's no
coming.
daylight.
It's coming.
Yeah, we're going to get it next week. But
Yeah.
next week, right? No, this weekend.
No, this weekend.
This weekend, yeah.
Please get rid of that fucking rule, please. Just keep the daylight as it is.
Well, then
Steady.
it'd be
There's no
what
more
it is now.
what I'm saying is that's fine.
No, it
Just
isn't.
give me consistency.
I want more hours at night. I love.
Then keep that.
Yeah.
Just keep something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quit fucking with it. Jackson, how'd your ride week go? You got sick. A little.
Yeah.
It's weird to say you got sick. It's almost like we need to throw you out on the street and shun you.
I know. Some of you could probably hear it's in my voice a little bit. But over the week, I work in a petri dish pretty much all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you do.
And so I caught a little cold over the week. I made the Saturday ride. Throughout the week, I did all of my usual stuff. But on Sunday, it hit a little harder. But took yesterday off from work, and today it's all pretty much better. So, yeah. Next week, well, for the rest of the weeks, it'll be riding hard, not
Good.
missing one. So,
Good.
yeah.
I saved myself for last.
Because
I got
Usually-
five.
You gonna brag?
I got 5 workouts in this
Wow.
last
Wow.
week.
You're getting ready for a race.
I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous about the ride. And Diva, I'm calling you out.
Oh.
Karsten Hagen, if you're listening to this podcast, I'm calling you out, man. That's it. Gauntlet. Drop.
The pen drops.
I'm fucked. If
Yeah.
he's been training, I am fucked because I've been okay. I think I'm gonna make it. I think if we get a 70 miler in this weekend, that'll give me the mental. Probably. I don't know about the physical element of it, but just the mental. Okay, I can do this.
It's
I
2
can
weeks-
make it another 15.
2 weeks
miles.
out.
Yeah, 20th.
It's too bad somebody flatted because we would have got 70.
Yeah, exactly.
Sunday.
I did. Paul and I went out and did a good ride, and you know what was
It was a
funny
little
about
bit
that
on
ride?
my because I knew I forgot to bring my spare tube,
Yeah.
and so we were relying on one tube. And when we hit the gravel, about maybe not even a mile,
yeah.
kilometer in, he flatted.
We're in Charles. Where were you?
Pruitt Road.
For those listening, if you watch the Gravel with Friends on our
We started it.
on our YouTube, that was this. That was where we were, and it was. I was feeling pretty good. I mean, but I found it hilarious. Number one, that I flat, and now you guys have got me so paranoid that if I flat and I have to start doing something mechanical in front of you guys, I just freeze.
Wow.
My brain just shuts
He's
off.
gone
I'm like,
back to like 14. He's
they're
gone
judging
back to,
me on how fast I'm doing it. I'm not doing it right.
Wow.
Here. And I basically handed my wheel to Paul, just like going, I don't know what to do anymore.
So this is like his whole life has come full circle to 14 years old.
Oh, is that what he
you
did
never
with you?
changed my tires.
No, I'm just saying when we were young, you might have
Yeah.
panicked. Everybody was picking on you, and now you're
Really? That people picked up?
Yeah.
Nobody ever.
Nobody
picked
picked
me.
on you because you were like a man at 14. but
You're
I'm
still
just
starting
saying,
to
you know,
shave.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely.
No, I just find myself. I blame it on Sam and those guys. And you were there too. That one ride, I got like 3 flats on.
Yeah, because you had tubeless ready wheels, and you got to get those tires set.
But everybody was just going, God, you got too many tools. You're taking forever. Yada yada. It's all the roadie elitism. You know, it's just it
turn
hurt
the
my
tables,
feelings.
yeah.
You know, I'm now a bike packer.
Wow.
Yeah, you're going to go on your own,
Handlebar
so you're
bag.
going to feel no
Yeah.
pressure, right?
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
flat on
I'll
your...
just take my time.
Yeah.
Well, you won't.
Well,
flat
I'll have
'cause
my
you'll have-
phone on just in case, and we can do airtime or
You can
FaceTime.
FaceTime me
yeah,
through it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Pat.
Yeah.
This is what you need to do
Yeah.
now.
I
Not that
seriously-
lever, you idiot.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why. I just froze, and I'm like, going,
It was hard to
Here,
get
you're
off.
faster than me.
You had some piece of crap. You have a
I
plethora
have terrible
of tools.
tire irons.
Yeah,
Terrible
get
tire
rid
irons.
of them. Yeah.
Yeah, they got to get rid
Find
of those.
yourself
You
over
let
to
another man change your tire?
He did.
Yeah,
Paul
I
changed it for
was
me.
starting to get cold.
The sun was going down.
I heard the
flattered.
coyotes in the background. Oh fuck, we're desperate.
Turkey vultures
Yeah, yeah.
flying over like
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
To speaking of which, time to judge me. I bought bike packing bags.
Oh, we already did. We
Yeah.
just
Yeah, yeah.
judged
Well,
you for
no,
like
even
10
more
minutes.
so. I bought bike packing bags. I'd go grab them if you guys could fill the
No,
show
no,
while I
no,
go grab
no.
them. They're right in that room
I
back
don't want
there.
to look at that.
Okay. I bought 3 Ortlieb bike packing bags. I bought one of those big ass saddle burrito things. I bought a front handlebar bag. Paul, I did. You're judging me. You go ahead.
Well, I'm just
and
saying.
I bought a backpack.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I get more excited when my wife shows me knitting needles
or
and this
new,
stuff.
yeah, a new purse.
Yeah, it's like, look at this. This is a certain type of wool, and I'll actually touch it and
yeah.
I'm interested to see what
Backpack
you think of the backpack.
It's big.
Yeah.
It might be too big.
Does it
But
go
does
above,
it stick
above your
out?
shoulder?
No,
blade?
no,
All
it's
right.
not.
It's just like
no,
more like a
it's,
parachuting, like or guys that
It's
on Red
tight.
Bull.
It
doing
fits
other
center
things.
of the back, and it's pretty narrow. Do you want to go grab it?
Is it
It's
like
right
an
behind you.
ultra-
No, I
we
believe
don't
it. We'll
wanna
see.
look at
Okay.
that.
We don't want to see
know,
your
It's like
underwear.
somebody looking at an old man naked. It's like, no, we don't. Ugh.
So is it like an
It's not
ultra?
right.
Is it like an ultra runner's vest where you got like a
It's
very
right behind
minimal-
Jackson. I'm just saying. But anyway, it's in the shop.
Okay.
After
those doors.
after this show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Anybody wants to
Whoa!
look at the naked old man can
Paul
look at
will
it.
be gone.
Yeah, I'll be.
Yeah. Okay. And I've decided it's going to be Spokane to the West Coast. It's going to be 400 miles there.
You riding to my house or your in-laws?
And my sister-in-law. Yeah, I'm going to ride there. It's just about 400 miles. Stay there for 2 to 3 days and ride the 400 back.
What?
Yeah.
What month?
June. It depends on if we do the Baker Classic.
Yeah.
If we go to Baker, I'll
City.
do it. If we do the Baker, I'll do it after that. If we
Well,
don't do it, I'll do it during that.
If you're going to do that BS, Jackson and I will take RV and head down.
Yeah.
We'll race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Screw
I
that.
mean, if you guys are going to Baker, I'll go to Baker, but then I'll do it after that.
All right.
But
There's
it's
not
just-
much happening in July, so
Well, I
What's
can't do it during
Baker?
July.
Baker City, down in Eastern
I
Oregon.
can't do it during July.
4th stage.
I can't.
Come on.
I can't miss 6 days of the tour. I can't go during July.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Seriously, I was
I
putting the
can't
trip
argue.
together, and I was
Yeah.
going, I can't fucking miss July.
Well,
There's
why don't
3
you do
weeks
it-
of
Can't
July.
you put your with all this shit you're gonna have on your bike? Can't you just set your iPhone sideways and stream
Jack,
the
the
tour
internet
while
is
riding?
not that strong. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Cell service,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well-
And get charging.
Where you're going.
and you could just ride. You could
Not
just
very
ride
good.
and
No.
stare. You don't even have to look up at the road. Just ride and stare. at the
just white
stage.
line,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
screen.
Just look
Yeah.
down.
White line,
Yeah.
screen.
And I think
Jackson's just like going, shut the fuck up.
he's
No,
got
it's-
something to say.
No. It's. I was gonna say. I feel like one of our professional cyclists found out the hard way what looking down always will do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not
Good-
too soon. You can
No,
make a
no,
Chris-
that's several
it's
years
not-
down.
You can make
Yeah.
a Chris Froome joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, are you talking about Bernal?
Yeah. Well, both.
That's too soon.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Both. Oh, yeah.
Both. I was talking about Chris Froome,
I
guys.
thought-
Yeah.
Take it easy. Take
I
it
thought you
easy.
were talking about Alaphilippe.
Chris Froome,
or-
unless
Yeah.
you're heartless, then it's Bernal.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Jackson's
you
not
suck.
heartless. Yeah. So should we get to it? Should we check out the headlines? Brought to us by our friends at Untapped Maple. Get to untappedmaple.cc today and get some great tasting energy using the finest Vermont maple syrup as its backbone, and as Paul showed me, sometimes coffee as its backbone.
Yeah.
Really good.
I get everything coffee.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
good. It is good. I like
It
the
is.
waffles and their gels.
The waffles, I almost want to just have at breakfast.
Yeah.
Watching my bike race.
waffles and whiskey.
And to watch.
No, sorry.
Hey, did you see it, everybody? Is it a monument? Is it a gravel race? As one can probably recall, the Strada Bianca took place this past weekend. If you're a cycling fan, you probably might have, caught wind of it. Yeah, right?
Caught wind of it.
Oh, I didn't.
Nice lead in. I saw what you did
Yeah,
there.
I meant to do that.
Yeah.
Fuck, that was actually really, yeah. All right, who at the bar saw it? Who saw it?
I'm highlights and
Saw it.
finish.
I was up at 3
Saw the
watching
whole
the
thing.
women's and the men's.
Women's
I
and
did
men's.
watch the women's finish.
If you had to pick a word to describe it, what would the word be, Paul?
Blustery.
But certainly is a blustery day, Pooh. That was my piglet.
Piglet.
Pig. That certainly is. No, it's fine.
Yeah,
can't
that's
do it,
Yeah. Thanks for noticing me.
that's Eeyore.
Jack, word to describe it.
Amazingly well-rounded dude.
That's too many fucking words. Jackson.
He's bad at this game.
Foreshadowing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yep. And that was one word.
Oh, I didn't have a breath in between any of my words. I just
So it's
A
there's no
run-on
space.
sentence
Yeah.
does not
It's a run-on-
count.
If you put that on paper, it's all one
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
And if it was in German, I'm
The
sure they have a
longest
German
fucking
word
they do,
for
right?
that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like Schadenfreude.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going for. He's making up. He's Dr. Seuss.
I don't follow the
across from
rules.
the bar. Epic. I just love that race. I do love that race, and I don't care about the rules, Paul. It should be a monument.
No.
Why?
No. It is a great professional race. Monuments have history behind it. Certainly, it's probably the best classic race, I would say.
So we got to
But it
wait.
needs to
okay,
be- You
gotta
I'm going to
wait 80
debunk your rules as you go. So
Okay.
we got to wait 30 years to call it a monument. That's what you're saying.
Probably more than that. And it has to be 250 kilometers.
I'm going to be
So-
dead before it becomes a monument.
So,
And they got to
well,
add
that's all right.
mileage.
They're not waiting for you on this.
Nobody's
Just-
waiting on you.
I'm sorry.
You're not all just pawns in my life.
I'm just saying. So, I mean, well, I don't know why everybody has to put a. I think I even said this last year. You don't have to put a title on anything. If a race is good, it doesn't matter if it's gravel or whatever. It is what it is. You can't duplicate Paris-Roubaix. It is a monument because it has been around since before the turn of the in the 1900s.
All right.
And same with Liège, Bastogne, Liège. All of them came early 1900s from the monuments. And they're 250 kilometers. That's what they're establishing as a monument. Now, I think if that is in your history of victories in your resume, to me it's like that is pretty impressive. If you have that and the 5 monuments, Rick Van Looy can never ever catch you, or De Vlaeminck,
because
or Eddie
it
Merckx.
wasn't a race when they were racing. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that's a good
Jackson, is it a monument?
It's probably my favorite one-day race of the year. I think it should be, and I say screw the history.
Screw the. Whoa.
Just-
Hey,
I know.
Yeah. I'll keep them. I'll
You
hold
got
them
Brick
back.
Skoda turning in his grave.
Yeah.
This is a Batman thing.
Monument.
No, I think it should be. It brings out all the biggest names. It's one of the most anticipated races of the year. So I think why not? Sure, there's like classifications. I mean,
What if they give them mileage and time? Then it could be
I don't know. I'm not.
70 years from now.
To me, I think we get hung up on too much on whether it is what it is. You know.
I recall specifically Dan Lloyd talking about it on the GCN coverage, talking about how the fact that, it doesn't meet the distance requirements, but it is so fast from the word go, that it almost, and the epic nature of what it is.
It is. Yep.
Yeah.
Can't argue that. But monuments are typically not fast. They're starting to get fast from the go because of the distance.
And the tip.
So let's talk about the race themselves. The races themselves. I'm gonna International Women's Day. I'm gonna start with the guys. Sorry. And Jackson, I'd like to get your perspective first in terms of what you thought. I do want to ask about Tade's performances. It was the performance of multiple people. The attack itself, and observations that you got from the race.
yeah. The reason why I used foreshadowing was because I think this is what we're going to be seeing for quite a while. He said, one of the commentators said that he's 23. He's 23 years old. He's a year older than I am. That is
Get your shit together, Jay.
I know, seriously.
Yeah.
Because what he
What have you done with your life?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
Because what he did was unbelievable. I mean, this is a guy who I see rolling up to every single race. I don't think he's gonna lose. When he's coming to Tirreno Adriatico and I saw Remco on the line, I went, "There's no chance. There's no chance he'll beat him." And the attack that he did it seemed like it was easy.
It just seemed like a casual acceleration.
He did it sitting down.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Like, he probably did it for the grip purposes, but like the fact that everybody else, Alaphilippe on the like absolute limit, and Pogacar just opened up immediately. It was a minute. I've never seen, for the time that I've been watching bike racing seriously, I've never seen somebody do it that easy. And I remember Brad Wiggins was on the motorbike saying he's been doing this for 40 some kilometers and he's making it look like he's out on a training ride. Mm-hmm. That, to me, that is foreshadowing for what the rest of his years are going to be.
I'm going to sound like overly melodramatic, but it was beautiful watching him ride a bike.
Yeah.
It's just this nature, just watching him on the bike, I'm immediately turned on. And I said that, and my wife was in the room, and she looked at me, and she went, "Do I need to give you space?"
Do what?
I went, maybe. No, but it was absolutely just dominating. Now, if Wout were there, would things have been different? Does anybody have any?
I don't know.
Guesses?
I can't. I think that going out at 50K out, inside 50K out, a lot of people were like looking at each other. But when you start, we're at home, there's a head and cross wind the whole time. So everybody's like, screw that. Who's going to chase this guy down? and he gained most of his time early on the downhill. It wasn't so much the climbing. And I mentioned to you, and you mentioned that he attacked sitting down. I don't recall. I tried to go back and look, but I was watching it again. I don't think I ever saw him stand. Even towards the end in the final climb, he sat the whole way. He was stretching his back out a couple of times.
Yeah.
This is training for him. He's probably just like on a...
There isn't, I've been following it, and even before I was following it, I'm, history buff on this.
Yeah.
Somebody who does grand tours and also single day. Not since your buddy Bernard Hinault has there been anybody that's even close. Bernard Hinault has a fantastic. He's probably the closest to Merckx.
Yeah.
So,
am I again being melodramatic by just saying this far into the season that we're either on the precipice of a magical time to say we were cycling fans? But I hope that's the case. Or we're on the verge of another fucking doping scandal.
Yeah.
It's one or the other. We're gonna look back upon this and say that was a Merckx, Devlamik, Mosier kind of decade. This season, what's happening right now.
I mean, I bring up soccer all the time. With people are always talking about Messi or Ronaldo, but a lot of people are saying we should just relish the time that we're in, that we're able to see these type of people. And Pogacar's, he's seeming like a Messi or Ronaldo type.
Yeah,
it's scary how much better he is than everybody else.
There are other young guys. Bernal would be one of them, where it's like they have this amazing start, and we would have this exact conversation 2 years ago, and then something happens. So, I mean, God forbid anything happens to him, but it's just, it's like, it is such a uncertain future for him.
Sure.
And you're out on the roads, and you're going full gas all the time. I guess statistics aren't on his side for longevity. I mean, is he going to be a 35-year-old cyclist with 10 tours under his belt? That's next to impossible to do. I know. I'm just throwing it out. You guys are like, I love him. He is amazing. He's fun to watch.
Last. Is that what you're saying?
Or I don't know. Maybe he'll get bored with it. Maybe he'll go fucking do cyclocross and
Dancing with the Stars.
I have no idea.
He is Slovakian, Slovenian.
It's just
graveler.
He's
going to become a gravel guy.
Yeah, right.
He would
a triathlete.
There would be no competition.
Fuck.
I need a.
No.
Pete Stetton is probably going like, "Fuck you, man. I could hold him."
No way in hell could
maybe
Pete Stetton hold him.
Maybe skills wise. You never know.
I don't know.
He
tore up that.
Pete's been on the show. Tade hasn't.
So there you go. Good call.
Is Tade riding Roubaix? I mean, why not?
No, he's doing Flanders.
Oh, okay.
And he's doing Milan San Remo.
I mean,
fuck.
Oh, he could win Milan San Remo.
Yeah, both of those.
It'll be interesting to see because we do
classic attacks. We gotta.
Yeah, I know.
We're jumping ahead of ourselves. I can't wait for the Milan San Remo preview show now.
It's always hard for me to like say, he does have the potential, obviously, to be one of the greats in there, like Bernard Hinault or Merckx, winning Grand Tours and monuments and non-monuments like Strada Bianca. But I think there's so much happening. There's so much coming. That could happen. And I remember a character who I really liked in the 90s that they said he could win 7, 8, 9, maybe 10. Jan Ulrich.
Oh, Jan Ulrich.
Yeah.
And I think you kind of touched the point, Jack, is as long as he has that fire in his belly, and that's coming from a 59-year-old guy. I mean, every year when I want to race or get on my bike, my incentive is to race a race and do races. When they start dwindling away and disappearing, like in the last couple of years, and even this year, we're starting to see things disappear. Mm-hmm. It's hard for me to like, why am I doing this? And if he's not having fun, if Tade is not having fun, at a certain point, he's like, he's got a wife now, he's got, children start coming, and we know how that is.
Things change.
Yeah, it does. And so life really can. Yeah. So I mean, that's my take on it.
Already married.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So I mean, I'd like to see history, and I think if anybody that I've seen since I've been watching since '84, I think the talent-wise he could probably be in there. But
we have
Froome.
We are in a time of Hall of Fame cyclists.
Yeah.
And I'm talking even as much as Jackson's boy, Peter Sagan, who rode to fourth place today for Adriatico. Yeah. That was I honestly, and I know how much of a fan you are of Peter's, but and we got to talk about the women's Strada Bianca, but I will say that seeing Peter Sagan up there today, in the mix of it, in the thick of it, just I was beaming. I was so happy for the guy, and if he stays top 3, 4, 5 for the remainder of the season, I will consider it a great success.
Yeah, I think he could do well in the Tour even, which he's probably going to go.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. To French team, he's in.
Gotta.
Yeah, he's in. The women's race, Lotte Kopecky. Holy shit! First of all, the fact that the top 12 finishers were all within a minute of each other. It just kept going and coming back, going and coming back, going and coming back. What a great race! I'm so sensitive about this because we live in a culture where you say something and you got to be careful. I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to make anybody pissed off. But I want to say the fact that women's racing is getting so much more animated and so much more dynamic than it has in recent years. And there are a core group of riders who are just doing amazing things. And seeing these teams starting to put things together. SD Works with 3 people on the podium. No, 2 people on the podium. And creating this everything that's going on with women's racing is so exciting. I'm loving it. I'm making sure I'm watching both races now. And I don't want that to sound like a condescending element. Look at me apologizing. I'm scared of some of this stuff because I don't want to get called out for being a dickhead, and there we go.
None of us picked her as the winner.
I was this close.
A lot of us pick Annemiek.
Oh yeah. Or I got
Marianne Vos was up there.
Yeah.
Longa Borghini, she's going to do it for me. She will come through this year.
And she won once before.
Yeah. She was up there in the finish. Everybody.
I thought the big surprise was Ashley Newman-Passio. I did not think that I don't know why. I didn't think she would be up in the mix of third place. I mean, she was, I think, last year or is currently the Zwift world champion. Yeah. But I don't know why I wasn't expecting that name to finish third on the podium.
It's a great race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked about it on the ride.
Yeah.
Between the men's, the thing that for somebody the average person, that if I got somebody involved watching, what's bike racing about? The men's would not be something you want to show them. It's like this guy just rode away and made everybody look like.
True.
But we know what it takes with a head crosswind to get there, so we have a different perspective. And the women's race, I think Van Vleuten has been, in the past, and this is borderline and what you were talking about, Pat. I might get in trouble here. But if I was a betting man, every race, I put money on Vos, Van der Breggen, and Van Vleuten.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're not going to lose. Win, place,
Yeah.
You're going to make. I think women's racing, and thank goodness because it's expanded a little bit, we're getting more and more talent coming in, and it's kind of messing it up. And I think with Van Vleuten, she rode her heart out. And SD Works, who has, I don't know, was Van der Breggen doing the DS on that? Does anybody know? Because she's the DS.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't know.
But
I just assumed.
The best thing to do is even on a local race, you got one person that's just going to kick your butt every time. In the previous races, it seems like people just watched her do what Pogacar did. 50K to go. They're just like,
her will. Yeah.
I'm taking off and good luck.
Place.
Yeah. But this race was completely
different. She tried to do that
different.
a couple times. She tried to do that, especially on that final climb.
And Kopecky, was perfect. She did not put any effort into it, and obviously SD Works was working for that. They were just like one after another, and even Ludwig was helping trying to chase down SD Works because SD Works had the firepower. So I mean, that's if you were going to try and get somebody new into it, that would have been the race to watch between the two of them, without a doubt.
I think it's interesting that it is really a team against a person.
Yeah.
Which really...
With her,
yeah.
you were talking about in that race?
Yeah, which really shows just what she can do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fact that we were talking about we are in a time of cycling legends, she is another one of them. Like,
definitely.
Like, the fact that she is a team in and of herself. Did you see another Movistar rider in the final?
Yeah, they burned all their matches up to that point.
Yeah.
To the
like,
big move.
Even on when she was with Scott.
Yeah.
It's like she was the only rider, which I find so crazy that she is pretty much the whole team. But I would love to see an alternative universe situation where she was actually on SD Works. Imagine that team. That team is already, if you think about it, like the DeCoinic Quick Step of well, are they still DeCoinic? Yeah. They are.
No.
It's
Quick Step
Alpha Vinyl.
Yeah.
Yep.
They are that team. But I would love to see what she would be like if she had a team that was as strong as she was. Because I think that would have... I mean, imagine if she had a teammate in the final. What difference that could have made.
Yeah.
Because I mean, having a helper there is a big deal.
Yeah. Especially like closing some of those gaps late in the race.
She got worked over.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah. Great racing. God, it's great racing. So there are other races going on that we didn't even think about. Tirreno and Paris-Nice. Is anybody a fan of one over the other, and why? Paris-Nice versus Tirreno.
I was Paris-Nice because it had such a history, and Sean Kelly had like that big streak of 7?
Yeah.
7 wins. So, that, and it was just always torrential rain and nasty conditions and cold
Race to the
and
sun.
stuff.
Yeah.
All the way to Nice. And I've been to Nice.
You said...
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Is there a button for that?
And that's in France.
What? I don't have.
Beautiful
I don't
city.
have the French national.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I can find.
Want me to hum it?
Yeah.
But
Oh Jesus!
but because that's what we got. The only thing I could watch is that, and Torino and Redico was something you read in Velo News. That's the only reason. But both of them are great races, and it's interesting to see that the big talk is that's where the classic riders go to get into shape for the classics.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always the discrepancy is which one's better getting ready for the classics. So, we'll see.
And it's interesting seeing the separation and who's where. And just it's such a dynamic element. And then we saw the domination stage.
Yeah.
In Paris-Nice. The Gavis Ballon and Mappe and these stages where you have 3 members of one team riding away from everybody else.
I will say it right here, right now. I will take the flack at the end of the year. I say that Ineos will not win a single tour this year.
You say that now? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. No, I wouldn't bet against you.
I made a statement about almost 4 years ago that after Froome won the tour, I said he won't win another one. Little did I know he'd run into a wall.
Yeah.
But nevertheless,
You were right.
yeah, I'm prophetic.
Would you have said that before Bernal's crash?
No.
No.
I think Bernal is a pretty special talent. I don't think he is of the level of like Roglic and Pogacar, but I think that neither of them show up to the Giro. I think he could win it again. Yeah. But now with Bernal out, Yates is I've said it a billion times. Yates is always going to blow it. And I don't see Carapaz winning another tour this year. So I think that with the way Jumbo-Visma absolutely controlled it yesterday, or not yesterday, a couple days ago.
Unbelievable.
They are so strong this year, especially with the addition of Tiege Benoot. They're going to win a lot this year.
Do you think the tour?
Laporte.
Do you think the tour will be because of their strength? Do you think Tadej will have a difficult time over 21 days?
I think it's going to be Tadej against Jumbo-Visma.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be an amazing battle.
However, I'd be really interested to see if they bring Joao Almeida, and they also have a lot
Formula.
Yeah, thank you. That was the name I was forgetting, because I think those two, that immediately he doesn't need a full team. That's what's crazy about him, is I think he could.
Well, he hasn't had.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's won.
And we could do it again.
Yeah, I mean,
Mark Hershey.
now we're
Yeah.
shooting so far ahead. It's like, how is the tactic? We were talking about the Tour de France, but they can't do what Ineos did and just how are they going to approach Tadej? Because Ineos just rode to the front and he's like, "Thanks for the ride, see you later." So they're going to have to come up with a different strategy than that. And I think they're going to have to load their guns. That's where Venegard comes into play. If he goes up the road, there's a commitment, because that kid could. I mean, he's going to be a future star. So I mean, if I was playing it, if I had those cards to deal with,
we're jumping ahead.
Yeah. I know.
We're into
3,
July.
4, 5 months.
Let's get back to the classics.
Let's
It's way better anyway.
But I do want to ask about something that I noticed. First of all, Fabio Jacobson versus Mark Cavendish. Mark Cavendish is claiming he's sick. He got punched today.
Yeah.
We talked about Peter Sagan back up at the front. If you are Patrick Lefevre, personal bias aside, I would assume you're all going Fabio 100%. I mean, we have to go with him, because he's just dancing on the pedals right now. There's no way.
If they take Mark Cavendish to the Tour, I'm going to be really disappointed, because Fabio Jacobson is probably the best sprinter in the world right now.
Yeah,
and I don't know. It's going to be he could win the green jersey if Wout doesn't go for it.
So why can't they have two
I was gonna
sprinters?
ask you that. What do you think
why
if he
wouldn't
took
you
both?
take them both? I mean, they're not going for the
GC.
the GC at all.
I think they got to commit to one, though, because if they want the green jersey, they got to commit to Fabio.
I mean, would Mark ever settle as a lead-out rider?
I think his big-ass personality wouldn't let him.
I don't think it will either.
Me neither.
I don't think it will either.
I don't know. I
mean,
think he's older.
They do dual leaders on for GC all the time. Why would you not just have like a wild card?
But he won green jersey last year.
Yeah.
He's gonna want it again, and he's gonna want that Merckx win too.
But if you're fighting for it, then you're gonna win the race one way or another. One guy's gonna win the race.
What if he does this? What if here's a scenario? He comes along.
We're still in July
until he gets.
Back to July.
Yeah, we're jumping again. We're jumping again.
Yeah, because the classics are way better than the Tour. But what if he says, "I'll come along as soon as I break that record." I'm part of that. Yeah. Then it's all Fabi.
I don't see Cav taking one. I think he wants them all. That's the type of mentality. That's the freaky type of mentality that I think he's got.
That is what you gotta have.
I'm so glad that Jackson said something about mentality, because that's a preview of coming attractions. So interesting. Okay. There was another element that came out in the most recent races, talking about Filippo Ganna's time trial.
We're still in news, aren't we?
We still are, technically. 40 some minutes into the show. Many observations about the amount of bikes following Filippo Ganna on the roof of the car.
Yeah.
There were 10 bikes on the roof of the car following Filippo Ganna. Many alarm bells were going off saying, the fuck, this is obviously intended to create some sort of a reverse draft, a push, an aerodynamic element in it. Remco Evenepoel had very similar amounts of the bikes on top, as Tadej Pogačar did also. There were discussions that Alex Dowsett, who was 4th or 5th in that time trial, had one bike behind all these guys. Are we seeing another marginal gains type of advantage here in terms of a car following a rider?
I'm curious.
We can
to
be
see.
quick on this one, but
to me, I want the response from Ineos and Quickstep why they had so many bikes. And if it doesn't hold water,
obvious, yeah.
It looks like it to us.
Yeah.
But if they said, we're trying, we're trying, we tried these tubeless, and you know how fickle they are. So we have like some tubulars and
fucking disc brakes, man.
Or that, But it's obvious. I mean, not obvious, but it's pointing.
They got a bad batch of Pinarello.
Yeah.
Could,
Yeah.
or wheel set.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Well, another question I got though is, okay, let's say that car's not following him at all.
Yeah.
You're not going to beat Filippo Ganna no matter what in that time trial. Like Remco's not going to beat Filippo Ganna. Tade's not going to beat him in that time trial. He is crazy in those. So I think it's probably for the marginal gains. You might as well take it if it's not illegal, right?
Yeah.
But
good point.
he's an ox. It's crazy how strong this guy is.
Yeah.
Strong as ox.
Yeah.
Strong like bull.
Bull?
Strong like bull.
I like ox.
Yeah. I can't do my Russian accent because I've decided to boycott.
Yeah.
Boycott my Russian accent.
Very good.
So shifting, speaking of the aerodynamics, we're going to take us to topic 1.
Oh.
Hey,
Skin suits.
46 minutes in. Brought to you by our newest sponsor. New sponsor. What
Nude
button
sponsor.
is the bell? Fellow Products. Fellow. If you're a coffee drinker, and I don't mean shit coffee drinker, you need to check out the offerings from Fellow. I'm talking in terms of kettles, French presses, travel tumblers, all the best to make your coffee work its culinary magic. Use the link at packfiller.com to show your support for the podcast and to support and check out what Fellow offers. I have this kettle on my counter. You helped remodel my kitchen. It's this beautiful
I need to
black
see your kettle.
It's you want to see my kettle?
Yes.
And I also have a travel tumbler.
I like your spout.
I also have another
What color is your kettle?
It's great shit, you guys. I want to talk about this recent topic started by Chris Froome, apparently, about the actual riddance of time trial bikes. While this sounds absolutely probably insane and impossible, but let's play around with the ideas. These top budgets, these top teams have the budgets for the top gear, right? Or the sponsors, that jump on
Wind
board.
tunnels.
Yeah. We can all probably agree that some bikes are faster than others. Okay, so I'm right now talking just simply about the road pro tour level. What could happen if this advantage was taken away? What could happen if all of a sudden my bike is guaranteed to gain me, however so much per K? What if that was taken away? Would that level the playing field of pro teams?
Ghana would still win the time trial.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Because he can get so aerodynamic, and the amount of power that he can put out. I mean, we see it on
Watts or watts?
Yeah, we see it on flat stages. He can hold the front for so long and blow people off the back. He is. I in a time trial, he's the fastest.
So the bike doesn't make a difference.
I think.
Mr. Arrow here.
Well, I think in the age of that we're seeing right now, I don't know if it does make as much of a difference.
I like this kid.
The marginal gains. I think the very small percentage that it doesn't make you the first place guy versus the second place guy. I don't think. I think it can take a guy from 40th place to 25th place, but I don't think it's going to take a guy from, say like third place to first.
Sure.
We see time trials all the time where there is that one guy that's 20 seconds better than everybody else, or a minute better than everybody else, and that's not the bike.
I mean, and also if we think about it, there was a very big difference between bikes with Filippo Ganna and didn't Remco get second?
Yes.
Yeah. So Remco rode
11 seconds.
Yeah, Remco rode disc brakes. Filippo Ganna rode rim brakes, which if you think about it, disc brakes are not as aerodynamic as rim brakes are. He's still, Paul, did you just say by seconds?
Yeah, I think 11 seconds was his difference.
Yeah, 11 seconds, that's one sprint if we're really thinking about it. If he gave maybe one extra little sprint, he could have gotten it. Yeah. So, I mean, he had a disadvantage, and he still was that close.
I think what would be really cool is if you, 1 or 2 races a year were a time trial. Merc style. Yeah. And it just wasn't like, okay, you can't use these anymore. That's bullshit. That's not, our technology and our fun with technology it has to progress versus like, hey, let's have this classic race every year on such and such date, and you bring out your Merck's bike. You bring out your
or a
and see who's
series.
strong,
Wasn't there
or whatever,
a
just
Hammer series for a while there, or something like that did kind of a different funky style of racing? Maybe you do one that's just classic bikes.
see who shows up and see.
Would you be interested
put some
in
money,
watching it though?
Put some money behind it though.
Would you?
I would.
If you could get some guys out there like Ghana and Pogacar and everybody to show up with like fucking cables coming out of their hoods, I bet we would
Down
all
two
watch
shifters.
it. You would watch it and you'd love it, and there'd be money in it.
No fucking way they do.
What I will say though is, let's say you put like, Dad, we can say your Giant and my bike, right?
Sure.
If you were to put Filippo Ganna on those bikes, like, it's unfortunate because mine would win if you really think about it in a time trial setting.
Wow.
I'm not saying your bike.
You feel like
less
less of a man
right now. No, I'm just glad Giant's not paying us right now.
Well, I'm not saying I'm not saying it's the Giant.
joking.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
But it might be 3 seconds.
Yeah,
you
it would
know,
be
5 seconds.
it would
Yeah.
be a time. And I'm also thinking about, like, in a Merc setting, like an hour setting, for instance. Not everybody has a time trial bike, but everybody has a different bike. And so really, I guess in that setting, it kind of would make a difference.
The hour record is a whole different word.
Yeah.
Like going into.
But how about that? Yeah, we did run into a lot of situations with the hour record.
Every time.
But how about we take that down to the everyday Joe level, where you've got people signing up for races, competing in races, and do you truly believe? My dad always used to say, he's still alive, but he doesn't say it anymore. But he always used to say it's all in the legs. It's all in the legs. It's all in the legs. And but there was a time when I was just like going, fuck you, Dad.
Dad, I need a disc and I need some arrow.
But is there some truth to the fact that maybe the equipment gains are going to make that difference when it comes to even regional or normal person racing?
Well, I'm going to step back a little bit into the previous and then into the now. The question
It's going back to 1980.
We didn't give you the chance to.
Yeah, that's right. Because I usually dominate the conversation.
Bombarding this.
I know.
My turn to listen.
Yeah.
So, but I think I found it interesting getting back to aero equipment and all that type of thing. Listening to what's occurring when Rowan Dennis was with Ineos, Luke Rowe and Geraint Thomas were interviewing him. And they said, and Geraint's talking about like the time trial. What was it, Worlds? I think it was, and his Garmin wasn't working, and it threw him off because he didn't know what watts and that type of thing. And Rowan said, he's like, it doesn't matter. He goes, but all these aero bikes and stuff like that, I didn't know if I was. And he says it's all about your position. And people keep forgetting about that.
Comfort.
And when we had that
true.
conversation with Chris Carmichael, and we mentioned about position on a bike, and he says that's like 95% of your wind drag is the person himself.
Yeah.
So you can have all those advantages. If everybody's in that as best aero tuck as they can, then the bike becomes part of it. What the industry has done is made the bike the focal point, and not you got guys sitting up there doing TTs, and it's like, yeah, it's a better TT than they did before that aero bike, but it's only marginal as opposed to, And then another podcast I was listening to is this guy who was, I think it might have been Matt.
Paul. I'm not going to accuse you of cheating.
I am a podcast whore.
Especially if it's Cycling Legends.
Did you yell "fuck you" out the window?
I think it was it? Oh God, I can't remember who it was. Might have been Matt Stevens. Somebody was interviewing a guy who was getting his degree in cycling in Manchester, University of Manchester, cycling strategy. And
I want that degree.
And it was all based
Jesus.
more on the track.
Yeah.
And he's like, everybody's right now is focusing so much on watts. So a guy pushing out 600, 800 watts is great, but speed is the ultimate. So you can crank out, if you can be upright and crank 800 watts, and the guy cranking 200 watts is a mile an hour faster because of his position. What does it matter?
Yeah.
So I think that's where we start getting in. Now I'm going to bring it forward. If we had all the same bike, we'll still see guys like Taco Vanderhorn.
Yeah.
Smaller bars, turning things in,
and
there's always, as long as you're inside the rules, people are going to keep finding that razor's edge to get a few more seconds.
Well, aero position and
Like
comfort.
NASCAR, motherfucker.
No, they're all the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
Only the drivers are different.
But the comfort of, depending upon the length of time trial, if you can hold a position that is extremely more aero than your competitor, then you're great. If you can't hang in that position, you may as well be on Merckx's bike.
Yeah, use Strada, the breakaway. We said that Tade, I never saw him get out of the saddle. Well, you get out of the saddle, no matter, even if you're going uphill, you can power up. But, I mean, that guy was not sitting up or standing up to stretch his back. That guy was down low doing his long. He knew he had to stay low to keep that time, in my opinion, So position is a key. But if you can't produce the watts to maintain 25 miles an hour in the breakaway in an extremely aero position, and you have to go a little bit more upright to get that 25 miles an hour, that's where you get people like Bike Fit Sam that come in.
I thought you were going to say me.
No.
You gestured towards me, and I was like, I understand, man.
No, I like drafting behind you.
Yeah, I got to work in my fucking position.
Drag don't matter.
No, I think we talked about this on the ride this weekend, and all of a sudden I was thinking about how am I sitting on the bike. I will say this right now. I feel way more comfortable in my hoods, arms bend, than I do in the drops.
Oh, yeah.
I used to feel, yeah, that's true. I don't know if it's an age thing. I don't feel that my back is that much lower when I'm in the drops as opposed to 90-degree bend in my arms on the hoods. But yeah,
I'm going to bogart this a little bit.
You
but
can.
We were talking
No, you
with
hit
Jackson,
you hit a really interesting point on this.
Well, we were talking about bikes from when we started, the drop on a handlebar, and if anybody can clue into, look at the drop on Merckx's picture back there.
Right behind me.
Yeah.
I will.
That
it's
would
okay.
look
While you're
ridiculous.
talking about it, I'm going to zoom in on it real
That's
quick.
almost his top tube height.
Yeah.
And with a little bit, you're at.
You're basically what we're doing on the hoods now.
For the listener, now I'm zooming in on it. Right.
Do you have a movable
now.
camera?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I
So
just zoomed in on it. So
you look at that, you don't see drops like that anymore.
Yeah.
You don't see the hoods in that position anymore. I rode a little bit on the hoods. I mean, I had top-rated.
I'm surprised
Cavals and
his
stuff. Now the
stem's
hoods
so
are
high.
up, and
the
so
hoods
you're
were down farther. It's
Yeah.
also weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
I'm
you're
surprised his
almost
stem
at
is
this
as high as
bend.
it is, too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
forward
but
bend.
that's you rode
Right.
bigger bikes, right?
Yep.
And so you rode in the drops. So you look at those guys like Mosier. You talked about watching
Sunday in Hell.
Sunny in Hell.
Yeah.
All those guys were in the drops, and now everybody rides on the hoods. Well, you got shallow bars.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's a position thing.
Yeah.
And now you get a little rest on your forearms too, with the bend of the bars, so it's more comfortable in the hoods.
Is this a constant thought?
What?
Is this a constant thought, or do you think about positioning when you're riding for somebody who's newer to the sport? The young generation, and stuff like that. No, I seriously, I love to bounce to you for this kind of stuff because we got all these old fucks.
These guys are same position.
Well, it's sweating out there, boys. The more you sweat, the better.
Hey, you boys, let's keep sweating.
Yeah,
Same position since 1984.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you think about, if you really if you pay attention, when I'm riding, I am out of the drops maybe for 45 minutes of the entire ride.
Really?
When we were on Sunday, I maybe got out of the drops to climb. But that was it. Yeah, I am in the drops probably a good.
I sprint. That's all I would do is sprint or go down a hill in the drops.
Yeah.
I am in the drops a good 80% of the time when I ride.
I didn't notice.
Just because, it does make that it makes riding easier, and for me, just because it creates that low, I get lower, and it doesn't create that drag. I'm really comfortable in my drops.
Yeah.
And also if I can go from having my arms out in the drops to pulling it in and then getting really tight, and it's all compact again, and that's really comfortable for me, and that's something I pay attention to all the time. And I ride like that so I can get comfortable like that, and so I can get stronger in that position, and so my body's used to it.
That's a good point.
Good on you.
Being in the position creates strength. Your back,
Yeah.
support, all your support.
Gee, I wonder why Eric Calmond, our coach for many years, always used to yell at us, hands and drops. We used to have to actually ride for multiple hours on our training rides in our 53-17 and hands in the drops. That was it. That was the gear.
And you had
rode.
those drops.
Yeah. Round drops like that. Yeah, maybe I got to start taking into some of that old school.
Yeah, you ran
training
66s. The drop, because you bought handlebars width and drop.
Yeah.
You had 64s and 66, and everybody wanted 66 because
So
they
you get
drop.
lower.
I got 65s because Sean Kelly ran them, the crit bars, and they
Oh,
didn't
you
flatten
did the
out.
bend?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
my God.
I think I had one set of those.
Did you?
Crit bars,
Yeah.
yeah. The way it.
For the sake of time, I got to jump. I got to go to the true topic of the show, and I want to talk. Okay, we got 30 minutes. We can do this. The cycling mentality is topic number 2. Paul and I got into a conversation on this last Sunday about the type of person that makes a bike racer, and we, obviously we're all different, but we all have some things in common. And there are all categories we can all kind of fit into. Sure, we talk about sprinters, we talk about attackers, we talk about roadies, we talk about mountain, we talk about gravel, we talk those types of things. But we all kind of have some commonality in obviously in the fact that we straddle a top tube and we keep doing this to ourselves. The focus, the ability to react to setbacks, and not to sound melodramatic, but the character that makes up the person who is into cycling. And I thought we'd play around with this and even expand it into types of people that make up bike racers, riders, and participants in different levels and terrain types. So we might stereotype here. Warning to the listener. We're probably going to jump down some rabbit holes that are pretty stereotypical. But in your experience, what are the personality traits of yourselves and things you find in common with people who have not only become cyclists but stayed with cycling? I mean, what are the things? What are the personality traits that make that up? We can all talk about the competitive element, I think, which would be one of them. But what other things about this sport get you in and keep you in, and what type of people do that? Does anybody have any kind of initial thoughts on that?
Everybody was looking at me.
Yeah, we all looked immediately at Jackson. Why pick on the new guy?
Yeah.
I keep calling you the new guy. You're fucking faster than me. So
It's okay.
Yeah.
that's all I have left.
This is your legacy.
Yeah.
I think what keeps me in is, well, I guess I'll start this way. It's like every single year, this happens all the time. Ever since I got into it, I think it was my sophomore year. Yeah, my sophomore year of college. I would get really, really into it over the summer, even through fall. And then once winter hit, it's like, God, I don't want to ride at all. And then once the sun comes back out, it happens all again. I feel that way again. And there is a really big competition of it. I really like like you mentioned before. I love that competitive edge.
Yeah.
And I Bradley Wiggins mentioned something about Pogacar over the weekend, that he said that this guy is a pure racer. He just goes out and he always wants to race. And I find my mentality in that way a lot. I really like to just race and try and win. Really, that's something that really keeps me going. But also, I really like the social aspect of it, which I didn't think was something that I would really enjoy. But I like to have that, I guess, for lack of a better term, companionship is a big mentality point for me. I really like having motivators. You guys are motivators, and I need that, because on my own I don't think I could have that. But even but you saying I'm gonna be there, that makes me want to go out even more. Somebody's banging that drum, and
it's a group effort. Yeah.
And that's something I haven't found in other sports. Soccer is whether people say it's a team sport, it's a super individual sport. It's a really people just say
it's probably like cutthroat. If you
yeah.
don't show up, I'm gonna start. And
it's people say cycling's elitist, but get up there in soccer, it's more, from my opinion. So I need that team mentality, which I'm happy that I've been able to find.
What are for our old guys, the guys who've been this and doing it? We've left. We've been in the sport. We've left maybe for a short amount of time, unless we're Paul, and we come back to it. What are the things that you think make up a person, because we've had, I mean, there have been pros who have done the sport, who have done the high levels of the sport, and they retire and they leave.
You never see
They
him.
never straddle a top tube again. And then there are some who are still doing it. I mean, Francesco Casagrande is still racing mountain bikes. Casagrande is still racing.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, Cipollini's still riding.
But
Maceo's still riding. A lot of these guys are still riding.
David Raberlin,
Yeah.
51.
Yeah. What is it about
There's hope for me.
the lifer? what do you find in terms of personality traits of yourselves and people you've known who have been in the sport? That what is the element? Is it that competitive element? Because for me, I'm going to say, for me, it is not the competitive element as much anymore. Right now, I have found myself more in the camaraderie and just the simple joy of pedaling. That's why I'm doing this tour. I just love being out there. I love my mind escaping and wandering, but I'm also obsessed with elements of it. I'm obsessed with keeping up with you guys. I'm obsessed with my fitness and things like that. I don't care if I win a race again, but I'm still always going to be a cyclist. So what do you guys find are the personality traits you see?
Okay, so
You've been in and out more than
I've been in and out more than anybody.
and you're a cat
No,
one.
Jack.
Never reached
No,
that.
don't bust your balls, man. Because I left the sport for a long time too.
Yeah, but he's
I've come and gone
yeah.
about 5 times, 4 times, 5 times. But so I think I've touched on this on some other show, but I think it's the individual that would be attracted to cycling at this level that has a strange attraction to grittiness, intensity, out of the box kind of craziness. It's not this isn't a sport for like, I mean, you'll know the difference between somebody that's doing it for just plain fitness and somebody that's obsessed by cycling. And whether and I've said this before, you come and go, but you're still a cyclist. You're still looking at a poster. If you're thumbing through stuff and anything was cycling related, you'd be like, oh my God, look at this. Somebody that wouldn't even be interested in it. You're like trying to push your passion off on somebody. Yeah. If you saw a sticker on somebody's bumper, I've been that guy that like pulled up to him and go, give the thumbs up. And so it's more of it's a club. It's they're going, grab the children. Yeah. I think you said that on the but it's a sort of a special club to break it down to the very basics that you have to be of that mentality to be a part of. Not that it in an elitist sort of sense, but to get it sort of sense, to get like, oh my God, the pain of a 3-week tour, or the pain of a Paris-Roubaix, or the Belgian toothpaste. If that's attractive to you, you're in the club, and everybody else might not get it, and that doesn't matter. It's not that. So being at my age and just in and out of it, you have a common thread or denominator with people, regardless of age, that get it. It's like. It's like something that something you can't control. Something that I think you're born with. You're either attracted to this type of thing, or you're attracted to, American football or basketball.
Yeah.
It's like it's just not the same sort of mentality.
Is it still the Misfits? I remember when I was in high school, it was like, you gotta go get those cross country runner kids because they're the
closest. They're the closest
weirdos
to you. Yes,
get those guys, make them cyclists.
Yep,
and then you're even more of a misfit.
Hey, we had cyclists that we ran cross country. Yeah. Jed Herman and I. Mike Meyerly. Those guys, they ran cross country. You look at world cross country. It's not track. It's not football. It's not, it's a very different, unique breed of people. It's more about the person than the actual bike.
Okay.
Yeah, and I agree 100%. I think there's like a special club for those people who stick with it. And just the other day, I was at Super One, and you text me and say, "Hey, hi, Super One."
Hi from Super One.
Yeah,
I was creepy.
I was in there.
Sent him a weird
Yeah,
text.
but again, he doesn't like to talk, so I knew he dodged.
What day was
out.
that? I think I saw his car there.
Yeah.
I was looking for him.
It was 2 days ago.
Yep. You were parked near the wheelchair or the handicap.
I wasn't parked in the handicap.
No, but you're right next to
Don't
it.
throw me under that bus, man.
I know, but I'm
a
just
good
saying.
parker.
Yeah. But I got involved with a guy who worked there, and I had a Mojo Cycling sweatshirt that I got a hoodie.
Oh, okay.
And the guy goes, "Mojo Cycling, where's that?" Well, I plugged the show. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
But I did, and I was telling him, and he's like, "Oh, he goes, yeah, I live around here," and he's just a stock guy. And I found out 67 because I'm like Jack. Pretty soon,
You're half hour
I
deep.
still had one more inspection.
right.
This is my lunch break, and I'm thinking, I'm looking at I'm about done with lunch, and I got to go.
Yeah.
But
I'll be back though. We'll talk. We'll continue. Yeah.
but it's a really nice guy, and he goes, "I don't know, race or anything," and I plugged the show and everything, and he's like, "Oh, that'd be interesting," and it's just one of those things that you ride, I ride. He's been doing it from 30 years. He still has the same Trek with down tube shifters that he bought his original bike, and he goes, "I just like it," and he's going to do this. It's forgive me, it's some kind of tree. It's called Tree something tour, and it raises funds for forestering, and I don't know. It's going through Iowa. It changes and everything. He was telling me about it. I didn't want to say I got glossy-eyed, but I was looking at my watch when he was telling me, like, I got to get out of here. But
It's a tour.
yeah, we've only been talking for 15 minutes,
Right.
but
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the type of people. Whether they're a 69-year-old stock person or whether somebody Jackson Young getting into it, the fervor that I have for this stupid sport.
Yeah.
I want it in all generations and even Justin and his railroad. He went down the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
Justin Short.
Yeah.
All those guys that are passionate at whatever level, mountain bike, whether they catch. They're talking about flow tracks. That's cool. That's I totally get into it.
If you had to pick one trait to just define it, I got to keep time short. If you had to pick one trait of the type of person that you knew was going to leave the sport, what would be the flaw, the character flaw that you look in somebody and you saw that was going to cause them to leave the sport?
Can't learn. Hate losing.
Hate losing.
You will lose.
Hate losing.
Oh yeah. You lose more than you win.
Yeah,
by
guaranteed.
far.
Yeah,
You have to stick with it.
Got something that people that you see in somebody that you're going like you're not going to hang with it.
I guess I would agree with Paul. I hate to say that, but I thought about. I mean, no, not in that sense.
All right.
But
Yeah,
but
that
it's
was
like
a
you
personal-
took my
all right.
answer.
None of
Yeah.
us like it.
But I mean, I wanted to say somebody so self-centered, but I think a lot of great cyclists, even
You
that
have to
still
be.
hang out,
Yeah.
are still pretty self-centered. So. I guess I would have to say, the thought of losing.
Yeah.
Some people can't cope, can't hang,
Sure.
but you live it.
Yeah. Jackson.
Mine kind of goes along the same line. I think like lack of resilience, because if you think about it, you can be the best, but you won't always win. And I think that can suck. And I think mentally it can be a setback. But I think always having the faith in yourself that like, I can come back next time, but do it a little differently. That's something that I constantly think about every day. And I think if you don't have something like that in your head, I don't think you will stick around.
That it follows that same.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever left the sport ever for the reason of like, God, I just can't get this. I'm just not. I want to win and I can't. That's not a thing because it is a daily. Like you're either trying to get better and you can do a better.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a conversation, just kind of on the same point, but conversation with some friends when I won the first time I won Run Von Palouse, and we got a 4-man breakaway. It was a 5-man, and the 5th man goofed up, and we got to swallow. He overlapped Roger's wheel.
Oh.
But nevertheless, it was one of those things that when I won the race, I'm sitting there thinking I could have done better. I know I could have launched a solo attack. That would be what could, even
More
though I won.
pleasurable.
Yeah,
More pleasurable.
Well, and
Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah.
I was lucky I won the sprint, but that what else could I have done that would have been better? A solo win is
Right. It's
the best.
Yeah, of course.
And a teammate of mine is like, you won. No, but there's always room to improve, even when you win. You got to have that attitude. Yeah.
See, it's interesting. My only thing was going to be, my trait was going to be people who rely so heavily upon others for reassurance.
Oh, yeah.
Reassurance. There's the word I'm looking for. For camaraderie. There are times when you are very alone.
Oh yeah.
In this sport.
Right, Jack? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm alone.
yeah. It's about the time. Oh God, that was funny.
Yeah.
I think there are going to be times when you find that there's going to, your teammates are going to be hurting just as bad as you, even though they're with you, and they might not necessarily be the ones to pat you on the back. So I don't know. That's maybe my personality trait, and I'm sure there are more. I'm sure there are a lot more. So to round it out, I came up with 10 terms of cycling people. Okay, 10 terms that I'm going to give them. Cycling types. Okay, and I need you guys to not only say, yep, that's a category we can grade people in. We're going to categorize people here right now. Right. We're going to put people into categories, including ourselves.
Are we naming people?
Boxes.
We can if we don't, if we're okay not hurting their feelings, or if we're okay hurting their feelings, is what I meant to say. So you got to figure out which one you are. Are you a mix of one or two? Which one should I keep? Which one should I throw out? Which ones should we tweak, or anything like this? So we're going to make our 10 types of cyclists, okay? So first and foremost, and I know people who fall into this category, the slow and the steady. Do you guys know anybody who would fall into the category of the cyclists who are the slow and the steady? I'm going to throw it out there right now. Justin Short, our good friend Justin Short, is a member of the slow and the steady.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He can go all day, but he'll take 30 pictures and write a story.
And that makes it interesting sometimes.
It does.
You get something out of it.
Our Mojo friends are slow and steady.
That's what he gets out of it.
Yeah.
Though. That is
he
what
loves
his...
it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm not saying any of these are bad.
Right.
Yeah. Well, one or two of them might be bad as we progress. But slow and steady. Keep it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah.
So we all agree that those are people we know.
I know somebody outside of that picture.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
Okay. Mm-hmm. How about the silent but deadly? And I'm not talking about farts. Silent but deadlies. Can anybody think of a person on a bike who is silent but deadly?
They're not for long. That's a problem, because if somebody does it more than twice and
then they're not.
No,
then they're being
you
watched.
are marked.
They're being
yeah.
See, I'm going to play with this.
Yeah.
I think Jackson's silent but deadly.
No, but he's marked. He's going to be marked.
See, that's the thing.
He is marked, though.
But he's quiet, though. He doesn't have... His actions speak louder than his words.
See, I was gonna say I think I know somebody quite fondly.
Yeah.
And I would categorize myself as this.
Silent but deadly.
Because I will never be the person in the peloton to say something, unless it's like a big deal.
Yeah.
And
or start a sprint.
I mean, I will, but I will. I'll only do it when it's right.
Okay.
See, I wasn't thinking verbally. I was thinking.
That's why I kind of tried to make them generic enough that we could fit
Yeah.
people into that.
So,
But I agree.
if somebody is, I look silent but deadly, the one that's always there, you're looking, and it's like, God dang it, he beat me. And then there are 2 times I'm like, this is not a fluke.
I'm watching that motherfucker.
Yeah, this guy's just like letting everybody bounce off of each other.
Yeah.
And he's playing it cool.
And that's the guy.
And
you gotta
I'm
watch.
marking this bastard because
Okay.
he's not going to beat me again.
And see, that's what I think happened last year with Thursday night too. At first it was like, who is he?
Yeah.
But now it's like,
fuck.
he's there.
You're marked.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're marked. How about the fast asshole? We can all agree that exists.
Oh,
we know a
yeah.
lot of fast assholes.
I
Been
think
teammates with a few.
Yeah.
I think it's necessary in all of us. You got to have a little of it.
Everybody, I think, does have.
If you want to be competitive.
If you're fast, you have a little bit of asshole.
Look at Mark Cavendish.
I guess I'm not an asshole. I'm
You
not
are.
fast.
Yeah, you fuck it. You're the humble fast asshole. The invisible man or woman. The invisible man or woman.
When they don't show up for a ride?
No, the
that
people
how that
who truly are and this is why I was wondering while Paul was thinking about the silent but deadly as the invisible man or woman. The person who's never there, and then all of a sudden, wait, where the fuck did you come from?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden appears. Is this a bad
He could be
term?
one of the tail gunners.
Should I cancel it out?
See, again, let's say he's a tail gunner. Somebody sits in the back of the pack and everybody's like struggling, and then he's and we all know a couple of guys racing that's always there.
Yeah.
It's like he never takes a turn up front, and he's picked that selected section of the course is where he's going to make his move. Twice.
Good or bad person. It could be.
2 times and you're marked.
Kudos to him if that's how he's going to race,
Yeah.
but it's up to us to make him stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how I look
And
at
you
it.
say 2 times and you're...
Yeah, after 2 times,
Yeah.
that's...
I know of a couple
Fool me
invisible.
once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know of a couple invisible men, and people who are listeners to the show, and I don't want to call them out, but I know a couple of them who are. It's just like all of a sudden out of nowhere they show up, and you're like, "Last K, where the fuck you been?" You know, well, there you are. Or they do it smart. Like let's be honest, there are a lot of classics where the commentators are saying so and so we haven't seen him very much, and all of a sudden they show up in the last third of the race and they fucking dominate.
Sagan did that in the Worlds in Norway.
Yeah.
Nowhere, and then the last 3K, man, that guy's screwed everybody over.
I think recently Taco Vanderhorn has been the invisible
Yeah.
man. Nobody pays attention to the guy, but he's always
Fucking
there in the break.
strong.
He is now. He's a marked man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Guaranteed.
All right. How about the nice enough nerd? Do we all know
yeah.
nice
Oh,
enough
yeah.
nerds?
Yeah.
I welcome.
We might be nice enough nerds, but I know some definite people who are a little bit more dorky than me, and that's hard to say. That's hard to do.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I'm just like going, you're a super nice person. You're a total dork, though. But I appreciate you being here, and you're strong as a fucking horse. You know,
See,
we know the nice enough nerds.
I do.
I feel bad categorizing people like that, but like
No.
But I completely agree. I was gonna say I think in not only in cycling, but I think there is that person in every single anywhere anything.
And you would love to have them on your team.
Yeah.
In some. in
Oh,
many
yeah, you
cases.
got to have it.
I got
Yeah.
beat by one of those guys
nice
for
enough
state
nerds.
championships.
Yeah.
I got second to him.
Yeah. How about the super smilers?
I don't like them.
Their smiles are
during
too big.
the race?
No.
During the race?
No, just across
Just
the
in
board.
general?
Tom Cruise fucking smilers. I'm counting this back.
Or
Yeah, like, are
fucking
you
Brady.
in a cult?
See, what's weird, what's kind of freaky about cyclists, I will say, especially on like the local scene, is if they are like the very big smilers, usually they've got a lot of money and not a very good personal life. But there's a lot of them.
That's good.
There's a lot of them.
Really good. I'm thinking of some people. That's funny. Okay, so we do know the super smilers.
Well, yeah.
Sometimes they're really fast.
They always have very nice zip wheels. That's not naming and that's not like saying anybody specific, but they've always got the really nice stuff.
To me, cycling is enjoyable, but it's enjoyable because it's painful, and you go through it pushes you.
enjoyable.
You shouldn't be smiling, and nothing's worse than when, like, speaking of Baker City, they'll actually take a lot of pictures and a lot of videos and stuff of that race. It's a pretty big thing.
Yeah.
And you see guys know that there's a camera, and they have like signs like on the TT, smile, you're on camera. And guys are actually smiling in the TT. I mean, there's going to be snot coming out of my nose. You're not going hard enough. You don't understand the sport if you're smiling in a TT. There's no room.
But we agree that they exist.
they
okay,
do,
so
yeah.
every one of my categories exists so far.
Yeah.
The Retro Joes.
Paul
They
Maine.
don't exist.
Yeah.
What?
But I think Paul is a mix between Retro Joe, Silent but Deadly, and Fast Asshole. I think he's a little bit all three.
No.
I think okay.
Yeah.
I think you categorize under you like the idea of the retro,
Yeah.
but you know that it can't suffice in the modern.
If I was to combat that, I am all about the modern unless I'm empirical. I want to see the proof before. Yeah, I wanted to see proof. I don't bite into hype.
Yeah.
In the industry, being in the industry since 1989, there's a lot of bullshit that goes through.
Once he finds the data that supports the discs and such.
Clipless pedals, no
jump
problems
on.
changing.
But that took,
20 years.
Well,
no.
I mean, some of the things that, like clipless pedals,
Right.
I mean, as soon as I could get a pair, we were talking about on the ride, I had them on.
Jack, we were the first ones
I
to
know.
town, though.
I know.
Yeah.
I was a year behind you guys.
Yeah.
Sorry. But
Us and Greg LeMond. I mean,
ergo,
it's just-
what they used to call STI ergo, but breaking
Hino had
levers,
them
shift
first,
levers.
Jack.
Man, as
Yeah.
soon as I could afford 'em-
Bernardino had him first.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
Bernard
you're right. Okay.
Bernard Tapie owned Look.
Yeah.
So anyway, there you go. Yeah. So anyway, sorry.
But anyway, yeah.
I
Brake
guess
levers,
I'm a
shift
little
levers.
retro Joe.
Yeah.
So the category exists.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Brake levers, shift levers. I have
Yeah.
no problems. But when people are trying to cram like tubeless wheel sets for road,
So what
Let's
if
keep
what
sweating out there.
do you? So since you're so sensitive
Thank you.
to
You're welcome.
to the general discs and arrow or whatever, would you then go in categories? If you had endless amounts of money, this bike with discs is what I do with discs.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put my rim brakes on for this race. If you had 4 bikes, you'd own a disc bike
I would.
because there is
Foul weather.
a
I probably would
weather.
use them in crits.
maybe crits. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No,
I would.
I think
I'm just
that's-
trying to regain the
I think
ship here.
that's.
He'll just keep pushing buttons.
Wait, what
till
are we
shut
talking
up.
about? I
Me
got that
being
right.
old and crusty.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. It's all
Oh, I
yours.
like the gong.
I'm done. I'm done.
Wow, that's a good one.
So the retro Joe exists, and I believe
You're
at
sitting
least
in a room with
sitting
one.
next-
several
Yeah.
of them are here.
Sitting next to nerds and retro Joe.
The coffee shop poser.
Oh, they're definitely.
They're rampant.
Yeah.
I don't have
We all know
time.
one.
I don't have
Yeah.
time
Now
to even notice.
now 2 of these might fall in. I might be able to get rid of 2 of these. Now, do you know of the one and dones? I'm thinking of people who show up in February, win a city limit sprint, and then you never see again until next February.
No, I don't know.
So no, should I?
Not
I
that
think-
short, but go ahead.
Would that be classified into a invisible man woman?
I think there is I think there's a person who can fall in love with cycling in an infatuation and then find out that they get married, they have a job, they have a lot of stuff, and then it disappears.
So my last 2 are one and done, and the wait you were here. So should I combine those 2 into one, or should
Those
they
are
all
pretty
stay
close.
as
I think
standalone
those-
as
I think those
categories?
you could say that about the one and done.
Like, wait, you
Wait,
ever
were
did
here?
this?
Yeah, you were here. What?
You were a cyclist?
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know if I know.
I
a
know
lot
some
of people,
people
like
who
that.
are like one and dones. Meaning they were like, "Fuck, you were faster than shit," and then you quit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you talk about coming back, and you kind of start to come back, and then you never really come back.
Mm-hmm.
That was my one and dones. And the wait you were here's is the, for lack of a better term, Packfiller. You just never see him again. You just never see him. You never heard
Oh, I
from
can
him.
see that,
You were-
yeah.
They were gone.
Like
They were
Jackson
never
said,
there.
the one and dones are the ones that got life in front of cycling
Okay.
and,
Yeah.
and realize that kids and wives are more important than cycling.
Yeah.
Which they are.
Fools.
I know.
But it's all about,
But-
to throw it back, the balance.
Yeah, it is a
Yeah.
balancing. But
So
what was the other one that was the second?
wait, you were here.
Yeah, there's unfortunately that always scares me because I've been involved with group rides trying to get people involved with it, and they're all excited, and they show up for one group ride and they're gone,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and then you're thinking,
You feel
are they
bad about
elitist? Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe the elitist
Yeah.
thing. I always try and reach out to people,
Yeah.
because you know that they're looking awkward, and everybody's got like Asos or Panache
Sure.
or something, really expensive gear on,
Yeah.
and they've got bellwether, and they feel stupid.
So I gave you 10. The slow and steady, silent but deadly, fast asshole, invisible man or woman, nice enough nerd, super smiler, retro Joe, coffee shop poser, one and dones, and wait, you were here? Any of them I should toss out, or any things we should add? Because
The smiler bugs me, and the wait you were here.
the super smilers. You don't like this? I know super smilers.
I don't know.
Some of them tend to have had a past in triathlon. No offense. I'm not talking about Roger.
Or cheerleading. Or
Drink.
cheerleading.
Yeah.
Cheerleading.
So instead of super smilers, they're cheerleaders.
Well, have you ever
the
seen
same
a
thing.
cheerleading competition?
Yeah, but they're supporters.
They
Super
have to
smilers
smile.
are super happy
Yeah,
people
they
who
are.
drop
Yeah.
you when they go, "Oh, that was hard, wasn't it?" And you're going, "Fuck off."
That's never happened.
You're
to me.
Punch him
faster
in the
than me.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well,
I know.
I would say,
throw
what
them
was the
out.
last one?
Wait, you were here.
That's one that's kind of pathetic.
Is that mean? Is that too mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
Don't be mean.
Yeah.
Pat.
Scratch
Don't be
that
a-
one.
don't
So
be an
there's 9.
asshole.
There is 9.
There are 9 right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Are we
One and
making
done.
the new?
We're making apparently a new
new
Illuminati rule,
That's what exactly where I was going.
which means people are going to get mad.
I was
at
going
me.
to say Illuminati, but I forgot.
What
about
would you
the-
classify yourselves as? You can combine yourselves 1 or 2 or 3. We got to finish the show. Everybody has to define themselves by at least one of these categories. Jackson, you already got one.
Yeah.
You're Silent but Deadlies.
Yeah. Can I see the list real
Do
quick?
you want to pick?
Yeah.
Is it
a second?
elitist asshole?
How about this?
Elitist asshole is
Yeah.
the fast asshole.
Oh,
How about this?
You don't have to currently be fast.
I wasn't really an asshole.
How about
though.
this?
What?
We choose everybody on this table off
I
that list.
I like that better.
I agree.
Oh,
I
God.
agree. So let's just put
Okay.
this as center as we can, and
But you choose for everybody? Or can I just pick
everybody's
Jackson?
gonna define
pick Jackson?
who I am. So, for example, go ahead, open up both barrels, gentlemen. Which am I, or which ones am I?
Oh, you?
Yeah.
You're
go
a
ahead.
nice nerd.
Let me have it. I'm a nice nerd.
Yeah.
Really?
Jackson's not far behind you.
Hey, take it easy.
Like the apple
Well,
doesn't
you got
fall.
a consensus.
The
You got a
apple-
consensus on
oh.
this. So,
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
yeah.
See, it's tough to.
And Retro Joe is definitely Paul.
Well, no, we're picking
Am
one
I-
person, Jack.
Fuck. I don't know the rules.
Yeah.
I don't follow the rules.
Yeah, okay.
So
Did you know that?
we're picking for you first.
Yes.
Okay.
If you had to pick 1 or 2 or 3 categories, what would they be? Consensus.
I guess for me sometimes
You can be mean.
No. I think for sometimes I can see you.
Slow and deadly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say sometimes I can see you taking up the slow and steady, but you're not
I'm
slow.
deadly. Yes.
Just because
steady.
you can pick a tempo and just
Yeah.
go for
go.
300 miles. For 400 miles?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and please correct me if I'm wrong here. I think also it comes out every once in a while.
No.
I think the fast asshole comes out in you every once in a while.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm a slow and deadly fast asshole.
Wow,
Wait,
that
I think
alone is a...
and I
pretty
like
close.
the replacement of deadly instead of steady.
oh, yeah.
Slow and deadly fast asshole?
Slow
Yeah.
and deadly. That's what I
I like that better.
I read it wrong. I picked...
yeah,
Slow
but
and
you
worked
changed
out.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my name's Pat. I'm a slow and deadly fast asshole. I like that.
That's a t-shirt.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
take that.
Let's make merch.
Who's next?
Let's go, Jackson.
Okay.
Holy shit, we're running long.
No, well.
Jackson has silent but deadly all over himself. And
Maybe the nerdy one.
he has a little super smiler, but in a good way.
No,
Super smiler.
Because
No?
he's just
Super
nice.
smiler?
He's just nice.
Yeah, no, no.
God.
He might be, but I've never seen him smile on the bike.
That's
I
true.
think the nice nerd.
Nice
I
nerd.
agree.
Yeah.
Nice enough nerd.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
silent but deadly.
Yeah.
It's all about the arrow shit.
He's a silent but deadly, nice
Nice
enough
nerd.
nerd.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
Jack's
take it.
turn.
Jack's turn.
Jack, there's nothing that says
There's
only
nothing that
only
says
has time
one
to
and
run.
done. Oh.
There is one and done.
There's
It's right
one
there.
and done.
That's it.
I'm like,
We're done. We're
I'm
done.
like
with-
2 and done.
But I mean, if you went on his pass, you
wasn't
and I
an
raced
asshole
with him.
by any.
Little
Yeah.
retro
I
Joe.
was never an asshole.
No, you weren't.
No,
you never were an asshole.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to be an asshole.
When we got dropped in the Centennial Games, you and I like talked the whole way. We had like Ron Bruce and a bunch of other. You remember that? Anyway, let's go on. It's another show.
So we don't want to hurt Jack's feelings.
I think.
Oh,
I
are
think-
we still on? I thought we
Yeah.
moved on to Paul.
I say one and done.
And
one
I-
and done.
I think.
With a little retro Joe in.
See,
Yeah.
I'm a little
interesting
retro.
enough, I was gonna add in the not annoying side of the super smiler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a nice
Wow.
guy, Jack.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're
Thanks.
a nice
Yeah.
guy.
Thanks. Jeez.
You're the guy who stands in the grocery
I
store
do
and
wave
talks to
yeah,
people
I
for
do
an hour
wave
and a
at
half.
everybody.
Yeah.
And if I get dropped with somebody, I want Jack next to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
We
I'll
can carry on the
entertain for
conversation.
the rest of the ride.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Last but not least, we got to go something other than retro Joe for Paul.
Okay.
He's a fast asshole. He's just a quiet fast
He's
asshole.
not an
I
asshole,
said at
though.
the onset of the show, he judges people. He just doesn't do it out loud.
He's kind of a nerd about his bike.
Am I a
about
little?
stuff.
Yeah.
See, I
In a
think,
different way than him.
I don't mean that in
I
a
couldn't
bad
agree.
way, Paul, that you judge people because,
No,
IPA, you're like,
You can't.
fucking loser.
I got thick skin like an elephant. I had family of 5. I had 4 other siblings.
And you're drinking
It
the
was
elephant
like-
beer tonight,
yeah,
too.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
perfect time for it.
I think
he's a coffee shop poser.
No.
I think
do like
I think judging is almost the wrong word. I think pragmatic. Because
Okay.
he judges through strategy. He knows if
You're a
you
thinker.
yeah
He's a data guy.
He's a thinker. Yeah.
Yep. That's not on.
So that's a
by
little
the way.
nice enough nerd.
yeah.
Yeah.
And a
But
little
I
bit of
said
fast
that.
asshole.
I said that. He's not you guys nerd. He's a different nerd.
Different nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what
totally
does
different
you
nerd.
guys nerd qualify as, Jack?
Yeah.
You people.
Jackson's
You're
not the
technical.
same.
You're technical. He's social.
I'm not social.
Fuck.
Social nerd.
Yes. Okay.
Probably the fact
Technical nerd. Social nerd.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Okay. Did we come to a consensus?
I think
Nope.
so.
Nope. Are
Will
we all
we ever?
happy with our branding for life?
We can't change it. That's how other
It's
people
just
view
who you are.
you.
It's like
That's
your
who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. You should have like on the YouTube. You should like brand us.
We
I
gotta
should
get
just put a little lower
Yep.
third underneath you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like a nameplate.
Jack
like
Broadhead, once upon a time.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Yep.
We all got to get T-shirts now that
Well,
we wash weekly.
I hope everybody that this isn't the last episode of the Packfiller podcast where everybody just walks away from here going, God, those guys are
Jesus,
fucking
you
assholes.
guys.
They branded me and
Yep.
I'm not an asshole. Well, I am.
Apparently.
And I accept
Yeah.
that. You know, the slow and the steady thing, I fucking hate that
Deadly.
that's true, but
Slow
it's
and
true.
deadly.
Slow and deadly.
Slow and deadly.
We
Well,
gave you a little street cred.
yeah, you guys were nicest to me, I think. So maybe I was the one who ruined the
Well, you're the
entire
boss.
thing. All right, that's me. Thanks, everybody. Oh, my God, 1 hour and 36 minutes. Did we? Yeah.
What's the
did they-
longest show ever?
This one. Hey,
Next week's a new challenge.
yeah. No big races to pick. We're still dealing a thing. Anybody
Milan
have
San
any?
Remo
Well,
a
we-
week from Saturday.
Milan San Remo's a
What
week
about the
from Saturday.
tour? What about the tour?
We already touched that.
Who's going to win Paris-Nice? Go.
Primoz
Kelly.
Primoz
Roglic?
Roglic.
Yep.
Sean Kelly.
Primoz.
You don't
Yep.
think, wow, it's going to just suddenly pull something out of
No,
his ass.
no.
Okay,
He couldn't
take
even
it
win
away.
the sprint today.
Primoz Roglic. Who's going to win Tirreno?
Tade.
Tade.
Tadej?
Yeah. Slovenians all the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess that's it. All right. Thanks, everybody. We will talk.